Hello, my Creative Station friends. It's Peter Fujiwara back again for episode 2, where we're going to be learning about shot types. But before we begin, we are going to have to go over some of the concepts that I covered in the live, if you missed it, last Friday. So the first thing that we have to go over before everything else is we have to set our camera correctly on our iPhone. So if we go into our iPhone and open it up, and we go into settings, and then we scroll down to our camera, which is right there. And then if you look, you can see that there is a record video and tells you what frame rate you're going to go at. So if I tap this right now, mine is set where I want you to have it at 1080p, full HD, 30 frames per second. Okay, now my preference actually is 24 frames per second, but it doesn't offer it in 1080. If I shot in 4K, which is 4 times the size, then I could choose that. However, those file sizes are so large, it would become difficult for us to edit. So we're going to stick with 1080p, full HD resolution at 30 frames per second. Now I'm going to go into how to create effective video and how to use different shot types to more effectively transmit your message. To do this, we're going to first watch the Christmas video that I showed in the story last week, and you're going to do a little activity that we did in the live last week. Okay, so watch this video, and for every cut, I want you to count. So first cut, second cut, and then in the end, get a total for the number of cuts in this video. So let's watch this, and I'll start you off with the first cut. 1. So in the end, if you got over 20 cuts, you're doing pretty good. In reality, there are 26 cuts in this 52-second video. Now I want you to think about that. 26 cuts means there were 27 separate clips in a 52-second video. And how does that come about? Now, this is how you tell an effective story. And you'll notice there are many different shot types within this story in order to tell it well. But it's those cuts that direct your attention that make the message that much more powerful. And that's what this episode is about. Shot types and when to use them. Now, there are many shot types, but we're going to start with just 5. First, the extreme wide shot. Now this is where you establish where you are, what's happening, what time of year it is, what the weather is. Gives you a lot of information in a single shot. And it's similarly with the wide shot, which cuts in, gives you less of the environment, but still gives you a lot of information. Then we move into the medium shot. Now the medium shot is designed to give you some of that information, so just surrounding your main subject, but not all the information. Then we get into the close-up. The close-up cuts off all that extraneous information to get you to focus on exactly what the filmmaker wants you to look at. The close-up is typically used for emotional shots of someone's face, or if you're directing someone's attention at some particular object. And then we go to the extreme close-up. Now the extreme close-up can be used really effectively for tightening that feeling if it's like a thriller type movie, or seriously generating emotion, like just a shot of just the eyes and a tear coming down the eye, and so the sort of feeling that's generated from that kind of shot. So that's the different kinds of shots and why we would go about using them. Okay, now sequencing them effectively tells the story better. So I'm going to show you a few clips with this sort of generic script that I created. And the generic script is designed so that if you want to use a generic script, you could actually use it in any situation. So here's the clip with just me reading the script, one take. One day I decided to go on a little journey. It was a wonderful day, so I looked all around on my way to where I was going. When I arrived, I spotted something very interesting, so I decided to get a better look. I was amazed at what I had discovered. Now, from that one take, we are going to take the voiceover piece of that and take different shots and edit them together to create a different scene. And so take a look at this one, same voiceover, but a different series of clips. One day I decided to go on a little journey. It was a wonderful day, so I looked all around on my way to where I was going. When I arrived, I spotted something very interesting, so I decided to get a better look. I was amazed at what I had discovered. Now you notice, because we used, in this case, 6 different clips, the story seems a little bit fuller. We can see different things happening. We get more distance. We feel like we've traveled a little bit. Okay, all that sort of comes from designing it better. Choosing the clips effectively to tell the story. Now, because it's a generic script, I can just take that voiceover and put in anything I like. So here's another one, 6 clips again, but with a different take. One day I decided to go on a little journey. It was a wonderful day, so I looked all around on my way to where I was going. When I arrived, I spotted something very interesting, so I decided to get a better look. I was amazed at what I had discovered. So that's a completely different take with my dog Arrow. Now, although those are decent implementations of different shot types over that same story, it isn't really what I'm trying to get you to. Now, what I did was I took all these clips together and I put them into what I thought was a much more effective one, where I added sound and titling as well. And this incorporates almost everything we're going to be doing in this series. Same exact voiceover, but watch how much fuller the story is if we actually think about the shots that we're using to tell the story. One day I decided to go on a little journey. It was a wonderful day, so I looked all around on my way to where I was going. When I arrived, I spotted something very interesting, so I decided to get a better look. I was amazed at what I had discovered. Now I hope you can see that breaking that video up into 16 pieces of well-thought shots makes a significant difference. Now just think about it, it's the exact same voiceover, but doesn't it sound completely different when you add really good shots, titling, music, and I even added sound effects, the footsteps. So that's what we're going for in the end. Now there's one thing I want you to think about. You can get all of those shots in really 2 ways. The first is with your phone and just using the different lenses. So you can actually zoom in using your phone. So to go from extreme wide shot all the way to extreme close up, well, maybe not all the way to extreme close up, but just using the lenses on your camera without having to take a step. The other way is using your leg zoom, where you might use one lens, go from extreme wide shot, and then just walk in to get the other shots. And there are obvious advantages and disadvantages. With the zooming of your camera, you can incur digital noise or the pixelation that you have if you go beyond the capability of the optics of the lens, as you can see here. Now, there is a difference between using the different lenses as well in terms of the way they show the background of the shot. So I'm going to show you these 3 close-ups shot with the wide angle lens, the standard lens, and the telephoto lens on my iPhone 11. And as you can see, even though it's framed the same, the background changes. So another consideration. So for the activity, what we're going to be doing is exactly that. You're going to do each one of the shots, extreme wide shot, medium shot, close up, extreme close up, first using the camera lenses, staying in the same spot. Then you're going to be going on to shoot with leg zoom. Choose one lens and then go extreme wide shot, walk into wide shot, walk into medium shot, walk into close up, and then walk into extreme close up and see the difference. Then take those clips, put them into iMovie on your phone and title them camera zoom for the first set and leg zoom for the second set. Output that file as a reference file for your future reference of filmmaking so you can see the differences and make decisions. And then we'll discuss it on the live on Friday. So hopefully I'll see you on Friday at 2. We had quite an audience last Friday. So hopefully we'll see you then. And I'll be sharing some tips and tricks with regard to shots, but I will also be going on to the next lesson for camera movements. There's always a little bit more in the live. So hopefully we'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.